All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this year's Archicad user group webinars for 2025. Since this is our first webinar for the year, I thought it would be great to begin with covering some AEC trends within South Africa. When looking ahead for this year, there are several trends which stood out for me, and these are developing trends, technological innovations, evolving client expectations, and potential challenges. Let's jump into each section and explore what they could entail. Starting with developing trends. These are emerging and/or evolving practices and technologies within the AEC industry. Starting with smart construction practices, the integration of technology into construction processes will continue to become more mainstream. Some of these practices could include autonomous construction equipment. AI-driven machinery will streamline tasks like excavation, grading, and material handling. Predictive maintenance. So the IoT-enabled equipment will alert teams about maintenance needs before breakdowns occur. Robotic assistance. So robotics will play a larger role in repetitive tasks, such as bricklaying and welding, enhancing efficiency and precision. Next is increased adoption of digital twins. Continued adoption of the digital twin technology will become a standard practice in the AEC industry. Some examples of what the adoption could look like is real-time data integration. So these are digital twins will provide live updates for construction sites, enabling dynamic decision-making. Lifecycle management, from design to operation, digital twins will offer insights across the entire building lifecycle. And sustainability tracking. Teams can monitor energy usage and carbon footprints through digital twin platforms. Lastly, we have client-centric design with augmented or virtual reality. These immersive technologies will redefine how designs are presented to clients. Some examples would include interactive walkthroughs. So virtual reality tools such as BIMX will allow clients to explore projects before the construction begins. On-site AR overlays. So this is augmented reality, and it will help teams visualize designs directly on construction sites. And of course, customizable designs. Clients will be able to interact with models in real time, adjusting materials, layouts, and finishes. The next trend for 2025 is technological innovations. These highlight the cutting-edge technologies and advancements for transforming the industry. With no surprise, the AI-powered design tools is always going to be coming first. AI will continue to revolutionize design workflows. Here are some trends that are really making heads turn within the industry. Generative design. AI will create multiple design options based on project requirements. It could also be automated drafting. Repetitive tasks like drafting and modeling could become fully automated. And lastly is predictive insights. So AI tools or chatbots will anticipate project challenges and suggest solutions. Next is enhanced BIM capabilities. So BIM will expand its functionalities into new areas like multi-dimensional analysis. 7D BIM will incorporate facilities management, sustainability, and cost analysis. Real-time collaboration, cloud-based BIM platforms will enable seamless communication across teams. And with the integration of IoT, the IoT data will feed directly into BIM models for enhanced decision-making. The next AEC trend we're covering is evolving client expectations. As technologies advance and become more mainstream, clients expect a greater degree of involvement during projects. Starting off with demand for faster project delivery, clients will expect shorter timelines without having to compromise on quality. Here are some examples of how this can be achieved. Modular construction. This is prefabricated components that are constructed elsewhere will reduce construction time instead of them being done in the construction site, as well as automated processes. So the automation will streamline design as well as construction phases. Next is the focus on customization. Personalization will become a priority. Clients are going to be expecting bespoke designs, and they'll demand tailored solutions that meet their unique needs. Also, interactive tools. So AR and VR platforms will allow clients to make real-time changes to their designs. And lastly is transparency and collaboration. Clients will seek greater involvement in projects. Here are two ways you could achieve this. With real-time updates, cloud platforms will provide clients with live project updates, as well as collaborative tools. So platforms like BIM Cloud or other CDEs will facilitate direct client engagement. Last from our list of AEC trends is potential challenges within the industry. So relating to adoption barriers, this refers to obstacles and challenges that hinder the implementation and integration of new technologies and practices in the workplace. Relating to training needs, teams will require upskilling to adopt more advanced technologies. And relating to cost constraints, smaller firms may struggle to invest in emerging technologies. Next is data management. This focuses on the strategies and technologies used to efficiently collect, store, protect, and analyze data. So first one is data overload. Managing large data sets will remain a challenge, as well as cyber security risks. Increased reliance on cloud platforms will require robust security measures. Lastly, I thought it would be worth mentioning that beyond technology challenges, the three biggest concerns here in South Africa are labor shortages, inflation and market price changes, as well as supply chain volatility. These concerns underscore long-standing difficulties companies have securing skilled labor, managing project budgets, and mitigating risk. Now, let's dive into what's up and coming with TotalCAD for this year. I know many people have been asking for this, so we've gone the extra mile, and from this session moving forward, every user group meeting will be CBD accredited. There are some requirements in order for us to make this change. So you'll need to share some additional information with us through the Google Sheets that I've placed in the chat. If you have joined late and you can't see that, please just send a message in the chat and somebody from our team will just copy and paste it so that you can go ahead and fill that information out. Please complete your selected row. So the rows are numbered, just whichever row you're typing, make sure that you put all the relevant information. And then from March onwards, you'll be able to supply this information when you register for each user group meeting via the registration link. It's just good to note that each session will be awarded 0.1 point, and that's for category 1 per session. You must be logged on for the entire session to receive the certification or to receive that points. And the onus is going to be on you to ensure that you have captured your information correctly. Lastly, we're starting dedicated monthly webinars for Archicad-focused workshops. These sessions will primarily focus on tools and workflows within Archicad, and I've placed the information relating to the next session on screen for your convenience. I'm just going to leave it here for a little bit before I hand over to Thomas. He's going to be taking us through some of the latest updates relating to the CI tools. You can just keep the questions for the end of this session, Zane. We'll touch base on that with it over there. Okay. All right. That's me. I'm just going to hand it over.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to do a quick introduction. My name is Thomas Ackerman. Some people know me as Ludwig Ackerman. I've been with Central Innovation now for going on 3 years. I work for them as a tester, and I consult in various other matters that relate to the end user experience of the software. I'm based in Johannesburg, although the company is in New Zealand. What does CI Tools do? We try and write add-ons and plugins for Archicad that either streamline functionality that it already has or give it functionality that it didn't have at all. And that segues nicely into what I would like to show you today. I'm going to briefly just show you something with regards to FitOut, which is our latest tool. Then I'm going to just touch on a little bit of electrical and doors and windows, which is by far our most popular tool worldwide. So let me share my screen, and you guys can just give me a thumbs up if you can see what I'm doing. Anyone? Cool. All right. Okay, so what the FitOut tool intends to do is when you populate a room with furniture, it can be a very tedious task to do that multiple times over, etc., or just in a residential application. We'll get to that a little bit later. So what we developed is a tool that intuitively places furniture inside a zone. Obviously, zones can't overlap for this purpose, and you have to focus on modeling your zones very nicely. So what we've got here are 5 room typologies. We've got a bathroom, a bedroom, a consulting room for medical applications, a laundry, and then I'm just going to focus on the office fit out for the moment. Quite simple. You have options for including or not including certain of these items and the hierarchy in which they are placed. So what the tool will try and do is it will try and as close to your mouse click as possible, place it in that hierarchy based on certain constraints. So it looks a little bit AI. We have a running joke in the office that it is AI because the guy that developed most of it, his name is Andrew, so it's his intelligence. Let me show you what it does. So I'm going to select the office fit out tool. I'm going to go to an office floor layout plan, and I'm going to now tell the tool I would like to place 2 office chairs and a desk inside each of these offices. So I will click inside the zone, and it will apply its mind. You can see that at the moment, our tool is very shy and scared of windows. That is currently deliberately because we don't necessarily always know what the intention is. But here you can see, for instance, if I go there, it will do something closer to where I was able to place my cursor. The nice thing also about the FitOut tool is that the objects that have been placed are intuitive. And as you can see, when I select it, it's a single entity at this stage. I'll get back to that later. And it has snapping ability. So in other words, if I grab the desk and I move it anywhere else in the room, it is intuitive and it realizes, okay, I probably should be with my back against the wall, etc. This, in other words, makes it very easy to quickly, at the first stages of a project, just have proof of concept. These offices work. yes, this might not be the desk, chair, or the rest of the items that we choose to use for the rest of the project. But as an initial phase, it's very easy to populate your plan view. And I'll get to some magic about that later. Let's say, for instance, you are in a you operate in the medical sphere, and you need to populate a whole bunch of medical suites with medical suite type scenarios. So in here, we've got, let me just take you back there. We've got a consultation desk or consult desk. We've got visitors chairs. We've got examination couch, hand basin, and then the examination couch also comes with its own little privacy curtain. So if I just click inside that, you will see that it automatically places, that one didn't work because of the, okay, there we go. Got another one here. There we go. And it intuitively interprets the room based on the place where I click it. It's not always perfect, but usually it gets things right. I think I'll come back to this one. There we go. And there we are. You see, it always happens when you, on the presentation, everything works fine until you want to present to people. Let me just delete this one hanging in space here. But I think you guys get the idea of what it's doing. What I just want to also maybe show you in the office configuration is that if you have a fit out already placed, this crosshair is a movable, it's sort of a centroid point that tells the tool, can you give me some other configurations that might also work? So it's got a little bit more control. And maybe something that I can also just point out to you is that you can also indicate to it whether it should populate the room clockwise or an anti-clockwise configuration based on the hierarchy that you've given it. And in that way, you can then place these items quickly and easily. For now, it remains one entity. I'll get to that now. So let's just look at something a little bit more closer to perhaps the general practice. A very boring layout of a residential dwelling. And I've just saved some favorites in this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, right, the first one that I want to place is a double bed in a bedroom. So here we've got a master bedroom, and I just tell it, right, that's what I want you to do. And in the process, it has placed a chest of drawers with a mirror. Sorry, my apologies. Which I can then, with snappability, just go, I want you on this side and move. And once again, we've got the centroid, but I don't think it's going to find many other options here that'll work. Okay, so that gives you an indication of that bedroom. Right, let's try a smaller bedroom just with a single bed in it. Single bedroom, and place it here. Okay, it does not interpret any 2D objects. I did this so that you could see this BIC is just a fill. This built-in cupboard is just a fill. So it interprets the zone, but it's very easy. Perhaps just a last, before we move over to the bathrooms, let me give me a seckie. Yeah, I'll go back to the office one to just explain that to you. So now let's see if the bathroom can work. Now, this is quite a small bathroom. So the favorite that I've saved for this one does not include a bath. So I will just populate this. And if we look at the hierarchy of that one, I believe I actually placed the shower right at the top. If we go to the bathroom fit out hierarchy, I say no bath, generic shower enclosure. So let's see if it can try and place the shower and then a sensible other configuration. And we can see it tries to snap the WC to an exterior wall. We've placed a vanity. These are all movable. And they snap based on what wall you move them to. So there are quite a few options in terms of that. Let's quickly go and populate the larger bathroom. And I'm going to go like this and say, let's go for larger bathroom layout. This is a bit of a weird configuration for a room. Let's see if I place it here. I believe my hierarchy is set to place the bath first. Okay, I'm not perfectly happy with this. I actually would like the WC to be on this side. And if we move it closer to the wall, it will potentially, yeah, okay, that's it. And I don't like the configuration, the placement of that. So I'm just going to move this slightly over to there. And very quickly and easily, I've populated a bathroom. Maybe one thing I can show you is that if you move the bath in a different direction, it will actually snap the taps back onto the wall. It realizes that the taps can't just float in space. So there we've got a bathroom layout. And lastly, I just want to quickly place a laundry layout, which is one of the last typologies. Let me just get my favorites up, sorry. Okay, and I'm just going to place a laundry layout in the laundry. It will realize that there's enough space. And now I'm sure that there's already a question asking, but okay, so this is fantastic for plan view, but what about 3D? And there you go. All of them 3D objects placed on home story level, not floating in space, nicely placed inside. And now if I choose to, for instance, in a later stage of the project, say, I'm not sure I want the items that you've given to me, CI tools, or I want some of the other items in your library. What you do is you select the fit out, you go to the fit out drop down and you say, please convert to components. And it, oopsie, I placed that on a different story. That's why. Just want to make sure here. And current. Let's just split this one up. It's very strange that it's doing that. In all my runs, it didn't do that. So CI tools, put out, convert to components, and do. That is interesting. Let me quickly go back to this one. I want to just go back here. And what I'll do here is just show you that you can just convert it to components. Fit out, convert to components. And now these will operate as individual objects. Okay. The last thing that I just want to show you with regards to the electrical tool on this layout is that we have recently developed with the electrical tool a library of, coincidentally, India and South Africa have similar switches. We are one of the 2 places in the world that use the plugs that we use with the big 3-prong. So what I just wanted to show you is that I'm going to quickly talk over a quick video that I want to show you, and then a quick demonstration of adding wiring for the electrical tool. What I've done here is I've placed some Archicad lamps. Let me watch the video for you first. I think that's a good start. So in this video, I deliberately tried to create a copy of a plug point or a socket point that you can find on Takealot. So we have 2 3-prongs, 2 2-prongs, and a USB charger. And what you will see now, I'm just going to speed it up, is that the that's fast enough. So what I'm doing at the moment is I'm adjusting the configuration for what I want. So I've just told it I want a second PowerPoint, and I can move that position. Then I tell it I want a 3rd point, and I want it to be a switch, and I can move it to where I need it to be. And lastly, we're going to do the 2 points at the end, which one is going to be a USB, and the other one's going to be the 2-pronged aspects, 2-pronged. And voila. In very short space of time, we've created something that in plan view has all the information, shows that it's USB. Just another example. Here we've got a data point and a TV point. I don't think we use satellite points that much anymore, so I've just chosen to do an HDMI. So by quickly adjusting the settings on the module, the mixed module. I can tell it how many modules I want, and very quickly and easily I can set it up to start populating that plate with the items. You'll see there's a bit of overlap because I moved one not far enough, and I'll fix it now. There we go. And there's the 2-prong, and lastly we're going to quickly do the that's the HDMI. And if we need a data point, as you typically do, populate the data point, move it over, get it into position, and very quickly and easily we've created 2 bespoke plates that contain the information in plan view that you would need to be able to create a 3D object that obviously then has plan view information based, attached to it. Lastly, what I'd like to show you is just with regards to this electrical downlighter setup. So in this situation, I would typically go and I would say, well, we need a switch. So I'm just going to do an India, South Africa switch. I'm going to, and it's quite obvious, but it's a 3D object with the ability to switch to one switch, 2-way, not 2-way, etc. I'm going to place it over here. You'll see that it doesn't place against the wall. However, if I hold in spacebar, it knows where the wall is. So I've got my switch placed. Now I would like to add some wiring to this. So I'm just going to select all these lamps. I'm going to select the electrical switch. And by going to CI tools and electrical, I would like to add some wiring to this. I can choose a line type. Let's go for something like that. I can choose a nice color that I want on my electrical layouts and which layer. And by clicking OK, it will automatically populate. Wait, I had an extra lamp. I'm so sorry. One outside the building. You see, that's what happens when you move stuff. Let me do that again. Okay, CI tools, electrical, and add wiring. Quick and easy. You can also save styles that you can refer to later in this. And there we go. It's populated with the radii that I have indicated. These are adjustable, so if you don't like the configuration or you don't like the position, and they have been grouped in such a way that you can select the entire circuit and change it to whatever you like. And I would just like to point out that the wiring is now attached to whatever component it has been assigned to. So I can move these components to my heart's content later, and the wiring will stay glued to them. I just want to show you, let's just go like this, electrical, select circuit. And I'm just going to display order, bring it to front because I don't like it being behind it. There we go. So that is just in a nutshell, in a very short nutshell, and obviously all electrical things, all electrical components can be scheduled with their properties scheduled as well. So lastly, I just want to briefly talk about the doors and windows tool. So let me go here, and I'm just going to go to 3D. So this is an example just showing some of the more exotic configurations that we are able to achieve with our door and window tool. We have releasing an update on this within the next day or 2 as well. Just some of the interesting windows that you can create, all kinds of top pivot, bottom pivot. I know that there's also the issue with regards to if you have to model Archicad windows, native Archicad windows next to sliding or folding doors, they don't show up on the same schedule. This is one entity. So in other words, that door and its side lights, if I can go and show you here. Well, that's a good enough place to show you. So these operate as, it's one entity. So it's scheduled as one entity with different panes in it. As you can see, that knows it's a door, that knows it's a fixed pane, etc. I just want to lastly show you maybe, yeah, that's a. So if you are in the in the construction industry where you, for instance, are doing a lot of heritage work, we are doing things that have a lot of arches, those kind of things, then perhaps this will solve some problems for you with regards to the native Archicad. For instance, like sloped sills and those kind of interesting things. And then the always tricky folding doors that end in a corner with a cantilever. That's always a fun one. And just to show you, this schedules in the interactive schedule with Archicad, although it is not native doors and windows in Archicad. So it will schedule in the native Archicad environment. Or you can use our CI Tools door and window schedule to create a worksheet schedule, which allows you obviously to add a lot more two-dimensional information on the worksheet as such. This is a 2D object that's created from the 3D object that you designed. And typically, I know people want to, for instance, that corner window, do something like this, or that corner door, I mean, and then have a little center line or something that gives you the indication that you are actually pivoting here. So easy and to do. So that's that's not the interactive schedule. This is our schedule, and also has the functionality that you can take this and say, I would like you to select this for me in 3D, and it will do that. It will automatically select it for you in 3D. So it's got that reverse ability as well. One last thing that I would like to say about the fit-out tool is that there are some exciting things that we have in the pipeline and development that we are still planning to do on the fit-out tool. Currently, we are hoping that people start playing with it, even if it's trial versions, give us some feedback. We are, how can I put this without letting the cat out of the bag? Without saying too much, I can tell you that we will not stop at 5-room typologies, but also that maybe we don't need to develop any further typologies. So there's a potential that things will expand quite quickly in the near future, and that it will open up a lot of doors for you. The one last thing that I just wanted to point out, and then I'll hand back to Matthew. I forgot to open these when I had them, but there's your take a lot items. If you go to, and I'll just pop this in the chat, if you would like to download a trial, you can easily just navigate to the link that I've just given there. Let me just bring this down. I do dislike the Teams thing floating in space. Okay, the next one that I want to show you is that once you've created a username and password, you will get to a place where you will be able to, under the CI tools, get CI tools, download an installer. Now, why do we have an installer? It looks like this. So once you've logged in with your username and password, it will tell you which tools you have available, which updates are available, and your trials will show up here. You simply select the Archicad version that you'd like to install it on, which is also important to maybe notice that the fit-out tool is only available for 28 and onwards. We released it with 28. And then you just install there. The reason why the installer is required is because there are quite a few places in your Archicad folder that we need to go and populate with our libraries, etc., for it to work. And if you have any challenges, there's also logging into my CI for the first time. I'll pop that link in the chat for you. So if you get stuck, you can just follow this, and that'll get you there. And lastly, if you have any questions with regards to the tools, I'm going to just pop my email address, my Central Innovation email address also into the chat. So if you guys want to mail me and ask questions about it, I would like to just mention that the purchasing of the tools actually is handled by TotalCAD. They are the first reseller that we have partnered with internationally that we will now be partnering with, and we are talking to some others at the moment. But with regards to the purchasing of the tools and how those pricing packages work, you can just speak to TotalCAD. And with that, Matthew, can I hand back to you?
So while this isn't the pricing, this can be found on our website. If you go totalcad.co.za, there is an option called products or CI tools. If you click on CI tools, it'll give you a short description. Some of the descriptions have videos so you can watch how to use each of the tools. And then if you click on read more, then there's an option there that you can look at the different packages. So there are 3 different packages relating to CI tools. One is the basic package, the second is the pro package, and the third is the premium package. One of the things on the CPD validation was that I don't talk about pricing too much on these sessions, so I'm not going to go into the pricing because I'm most likely going to have to share this information with the silence. All right. So if you just go onto our website, you can see it over there. Cool. That's everything on my side. Thanks so much for attending. And yeah, we'll either see you in 2 weeks' time for the Archicad workshop or next month for the next user group meeting. Take care and goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers.